Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another edition of the opposition preview. First things first, guys, you know what to do. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below. And on Saturday, Chelsea take on Nottingham Forest, looking to make it 2 wins in a row. Yes, 2 wins in a row, which for Chelsea normally is not a big deal, but this season it's been few and far between. I'm not sure the last time we won 2 games in a row. I can't really remember. But 2 wins in a row would be nice. First win under Frank Lampard last weekend against Bournemouth. First win in 7 games, avoiding the 007 James Bond memes, which is always a great thing to do. And Forest come to town, 16th in the table, 3 points above the drop zone. 3 games to go off the back of a really important win against Southampton. I'm delighted to be joined by Wolverine from Forest Fan TV. Mate, great to have you on again. Great to link up again. Obviously, earlier in the season, we drew 1-1. I thought we were fortuitous there. You battered us in that second half. We did absolutely nothing, but we managed to get out of town with a point. If I said to you at the start of the season that with 3 games to go, you'd be 16th in the table, you would have taken that.
Mate, just stop the count. Just stop the count right now, because we got a hard running coming in. And like, I've been joking with my lot saying we're on the beach now after we beat Southampton. But I just, do you know what? The amount of evenings I've spent with the calculator in hand, looking at everyone's fixtures. Can we do this? What if we won this? What if they do this? And it gets to the stage where, especially after you saw what Everton did against Brighton, you're like, football is football. It's unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. I still feel there's some twists left in the season. I just hope the twists go our way. I'm just get me to the end of May, mate.
Yeah, no, I know the feeling. I've been wishing for the end of the season for a long time, given how poor it's been for us and losing every week. But in terms of Forest, mate, obviously, you know, spent a lot of money, a lot of new players have come in. It's been a high turnover. What have you made of the season so far? Kind of from, I guess, from when we played you. How have you viewed it then? It's been, let's start with the manager, because there was a lot of talk around the World Cup that potentially he was going to go. Then he signed a new contract. Then there was more talk when you were on a poor run of form not so long ago that, you know, he was going to go. Then the club statement goes out, nope, Cooper's our man, he's staying. He's kind of turned it around a little bit, picked some wins up, pulled you out of the drop zone. Where do you stand with Steve Cooper?
Well, where I stand and where the majority of the fan base stand are probably 2 different sections. I mean, you're right. After we lost, we got slapped by Leicester just before the World Cup. And we went on a horrific run. Lost. It looked like the writing was on the wall. And I really do believe that it was the fans that kept him in at that stage. The fans rallied around him and everything. And then we picked up some results. We got a couple of wins. We drew Brentford even. And then we beat Crystal Palace just before the World Cup break. And things were looking rosy. And then we came back, and in January we were top of the table on form in the Premier League for about 4 or 5 games, which was crazy to see. We put a good run in together, and we got ourselves up to 13th, 14th, and there was a 7-point gap to the relegation zone. And then we went on this run, mate, where we just couldn't buy a win. I think we went 11 games without a win, picked up 3 draws in that phase, and you could just see the dotted line creeping closer and closer as we were getting towards that drop zone again. And then luckily that game against Brighton, who incidentally we've taken 4 points off this season, which is quite impressive.
They've doubled us,
mate. I couldn't believe it. It was we played our low block football, which has frustrated me. I'm sure we'll talk about it in a second. But that win was huge because that dragged us up into the 30s. I felt like we'd been in the 20s points-wise forever, mate. I can't remember. I don't know how long it's been, but it felt like a long time. And then obviously we got that huge win against Southampton. But in terms of Cooper, look, the fan base love him. I love him. I wish nothing but greatness for that guy, for what he did for us last year. My frustration has been the play style. The play style for me, with the players we have, look, you can make the argument is a lot. Yeah, we brought in 30-odd players, time to gel them, etc. But I still feel there's an identity that needs to be had in football. And I feel that with the players we've got, Brennan Johnson, Morgan Gibbs-White, you know, Emmanuel Dennis, Felipe, Lodi, Navas, all these decent names. I feel there's a good squad in there, and I still feel we're playing with an inferiority complex when we come to any opposition. And that was kind of cemented for me against Southampton, where bottom of the league, Southampton, all due respect to them, we were still playing quite deep in terms of our defensive line. And I feel that's just been our style. And I just feel like I want Cooper to do what he did last season, let go of the handbrake a little, just attack. Even if it is counter-attacking football, there's still, a way to do it slightly higher up the pitch, a bit more high pressing. But at the moment, it doesn't matter, mate. All that matters is that we get over that line. We take stock in the summer and we see where we excuse me, and we see where we are come the 28th of May, and hopefully anywhere above that dotted line, mate, and I'll bite your hand off right now.
Nah, for sure. I mean, I'm sure you don't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. Forest's away form this season has been
horrific,
shocking, to put it kindly, in stark contrast to your form at the City Ground. One away win all season against Southampton, which is obviously something that we couldn't do. But why do you think you've struggled so much on the road this season? Like, do you think is there a single reason, or is it a culmination of reasons? What do you think it is? Because it is mad to have struggled that badly.
It's horrific. There's no denying it. Cooper himself doesn't shy away from talking about it. If you look at it, we've got 33 points. 26 of those have come at home at the City Ground. And for me, it's obvious why. It's the crowd. The atmosphere in the City Ground is together. It's solid. Everyone's behind the team. Whatever your thoughts about how we play or whatever, when that whistle blows, everyone's behind the team. And we've been that 12th man pushing them forward. It's been really passionate. Every game has been like a cup final. Every atmosphere gets better. You come out of some games and you think, that's the best atmosphere I've ever seen. Until the next game. The one at Southampton, the atmosphere was unreal as well there. And it has been that City Ground atmosphere. It's been a fortress. Away from home, we get found out because, in my opinion, the style of football is too defensive. It's too negative in a way. And if you're sitting there, defending deep, letting the opposition have 70, sometimes 80% possession, like we did against Liverpool, it's a matter of time before any of the teams in the Premier League have quality about them. I don't care if you're first or you're 20th. You will have that chance to break us down. There's only so much that defending you can do before the walls cave in. And I think that's what's been happening. And then it's bread on top of it. I think it's a bit like, when everyone's been talking about that Lampard run, and because it's highlighted, it suddenly becomes more intense. It's the same with us when it came to the away form, where everyone's talking about Forest's away form. Every time we have an away match, the first question in Cooper's presser is, what are you doing about the away form? And it just highlights it more. And I think it adds more pressure to it as well. But if we go down because of our away form. Yeah. It's not been good enough.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't watch a lot of Forest, nowhere near as much as you, obviously. But, I think in the last couple of away games, the 3-2 at Anfield, the 2-1 at Brentford, there's been slight signs of improvement, maybe, throwing games away late on. Obviously, it's not ideal, but, it's that slight signs of improvement, perhaps, on the road. But let's throw it forward to the game on Saturday. Obviously, you come into Chelsea. I think the last time we played was in the FA Cup a few years ago at Stamford Bridge, for Forest Chelsea at the Bridge. We're not in the best home form, so you're not in the best away form. Probably got draw written all over it potentially. What do you think Forest need to do to get a positive result on Saturday?
I honestly think we will go there and we will low block. I think I would be happy with a boring 0-0. If you offered it to me now, I would take it. Ideally, if we could maybe sneak a counter-attack goal, because we got pace on the attack with the likes of Brennan Johnson, Morgan Gibbs-White. I thought Awoniyi in the game earlier in the season really got physical with the likes of Silva and caused them quite a few problems, especially in the second half. But at the moment, mate, give me a point. I think we need 2 points to stay up. I think 35 does it. I think 34 would be enough, but our goal difference is horrific. So we need that extra point just as the insurance policy on the goal difference. But it will be easy if Lampard's done his homework. Forest won't change their style. There's no way Forest is suddenly going to throw a curveball and just go all out attack and try and, go blow for blow at Chelsea. It's not going to happen. Steve Cooper's going to be pragmatic. He's come out, he said this isn't the style of football he wants to play, but basically we got to do what we got to do to get over the line. And over the line for me is 2 points. A draw against you If we fluke a draw against Arsenal next game, brilliant. But otherwise, it'll all rest on that Crystal Palace one at the end of the season. But this game is big for us because if we can get a point out of it, it means, in my opinion, we'll only need a point out of Crystal Palace. Yeah. If we lose to you tomorrow on Saturday, sorry, then potentially we may have to go and get a win at Palace. Even though we may just need 2 points, it's going to have to be 3. I mean, they don't give 2 points in football anymore, do they? So it's huge for us, and I'm just getting nervous just thinking about it now. It's starting to build up.
How important will Morgan Gibbs-White and Brennan Johnson be on Saturday for you? Because I look at them, I think Gibbs-White is a player that, at the time, myself included, think, bloody, that's a lot of money for us to pay for him. But actually, you know, as the season's gone on, I think he's more than shown that, actually, do you know what? That's probably quite a good deal. Him and Johnson, key to your chances. If they turn up and they put performances in, you've got a chance. If they don't, then no chance, would you say?
I would chuck in there, for me, the player that's shining more than those two at the moment, there's two, is Felipe, the centre-back from Atletico Madrid that we picked up for a couple of mil in January. He's been an absolute rock. He's our Silva. He just commands the defense. He's aggressive. He's, you can tell he's come from the Simeone training camp, one of the best defensive coaches in my mind that I've seen in the last 10, 15 years. You can see he's been drilled. So for me, him being commanding at the back is key. But then our young little boy wonder of Danilo, who's come from Palmeiras in the January window, a player that Arsenal wanted about a year ago. We've picked him up and he's come into hot form. He's scored 3 goals in 3 matches now. He's playing this box-to-box role. He's playing with no fear, aggressive. He's driving the play forward. He's been, in my opinion, the reason, as you mentioned, the last few games we've had, we've been missing a player in midfield all season who can pick the ball up, drive it forward, push the team up the pitch, and also link in some nice passes. Not only is he getting goals for us, mate, he's getting assists as well. And he's been brilliant. You add into that Brennan Johnson on the right-hand side and Morgan Gibbs-White. For me, Morgan Gibbs-White, love him. But I think he plays better at the City ground than he does away. So I'm not expecting him to run the show on Saturday. I think he will have an impact. But if Danilo and Morgan Gibbs-White and Brennan can get linked, if Brennan can get in behind, your defense, then you will struggle. You will struggle to hold him back, and we just need a chance or two. But
you'll get those.
Will we? Yeah, but will we hold out at the other end, mate? That's my worry at the moment. That's what it is for me. But I think it's quite easy for Lampard to prepare for this game, but preparing and executing are obviously 2 different things, in my opinion. But just give me a point, mate.
I mean, just lastly, mate. I know it might seem a little question, but what Chelsea players kind of are you slightly concerned about or wary of going into the game? I mean, obviously none of us have been in great form. We've struggled this season. We do have quality. I mean, are there any players that stand out to you? You think, oh shit, we need to be careful here? From all the millions you've bought, and I can say that to you because I get bantered it the same way. The one that I've always respected at Chelsea, and I think he's probably been a bit of a driving force for you lately as well, is Kante coming back. Yeah,
I think Kante has still got it. He's into his 30s now, but he's always been a player, and I've been just astounded by the positions he's been playing. I've seen him play at Cam for you a couple of times.
Yeah, it's mad. Like at the Brentford game when we lost 2-0 at the Bridge, the lineup drop, we were fuming because basically it was Sterling supported by Kante and Gallagher both playing 10s. It was a shambles.
It didn't make sense to me.
No, it didn't. I mean, Kante's superb. He's phenomenal. Yeah. Considering how long he's been out, he just comes back in and it's like he's not missed any football at all.
That's exactly it.
He's world class. He is. He's one of our few world class players, but he's top draw. And if he's on his game, then he can cause problems. But again, you don't really want him at in the final third of the pitch.
Yeah. I think he played in a better position when he played against Bournemouth the other day. He was kind of on the right of the 3, wasn't he? But I just think he brings some leadership and control. He leads by example on the field. His attitude is you can never question it, no matter how good or bad your results have been. So I think he will be key in the midfield battle. I always believe that a game of football is won in that midfield battle. And I think he's going to be key to you. Obviously, Enzo Fernandez seems like he's settling okay in comparison to some of your other players. His passing range is fantastic. You know, I think he's got a lot more to offer. I think you won't see the best out of him until next season. Mudryk for me has been a bit of an enigma. I thought he was going to be a worldie with that. Was it against Liverpool where he came on for
he was
20
really
minutes?
good at Anfield, yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think
then
there's quality there. It's just like it's going to take time for these guys. I think there's definitely potential there. He's obviously not hit the ground running as maybe some people would have expected, but
yeah,
it's early days to kind of draw conclusions. But yeah,
yeah,
I'm excited by him.
yeah. For me, I like your squad. I really do. As we're saying off air, for me, you're missing a striker, and I think you have been for a few years. If you can get yourself a decent number 9, I mean, you got some players coming in already that you've already signed, and Kunku, who I highly rate. I think everyone forgets that you guys have got him coming in. I don't like what you've done with Felix because I rate Felix very highly. I don't think you guys have utilized him well enough. I mean, he's hit the woodwork about 1,000 times for you already,
Yeah,
so he's been unlucky.
It's been tough.
Yeah, but I just think for me, those are the players that I do worry about. I hope he hasn't really been. He didn't start in the Brighton in the Bournemouth game, did he?
He's not started in the last 2 games. He was on the bench if he came off and scored against Bournemouth. Which I mean, maybe he'll be in the starting lineup on
I hope
Saturday,
not.
but he's not started the last few. But mate, to round out score prediction, what are you saying? First win away, second win away from home for Forest.
Do you want heart or head, mate?
Let's go with both.
Let's go with both. My head says 0-0. I think you may struggle against our low block. I think that might, from what I've watched at Chelsea, I've seen quite a bit of it. I feel like you struggle with that low block. I think back to the Southampton game, even at the Bridge. I think we could catch you maybe on the counter attack, but my head says 0-0. My heart, my heart's like shattered after the Southampton game, so I don't know what to tell you, mate. I would love to say 1-0 to Forest, but I'd be laughing at myself saying it. I'll take a 1-0, but 0-0 for me, I think, mate. I think it could be a boring, dull game.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I mean, I'd love for us to win 2 games in a row, but I think this is going to be a lot tougher than a lot of people think it is. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw, but I'd love to be wrong, and I'd love for us to get a second win on the spin. I'd love Lampard to at least get 1 win at Stamford Bridge before he departs. Mate, thanks so much for your time. Massively appreciate it. If the people want to check out what you guys do, where's the best place for them to go?
Yes, at Forest Fan TV on YouTube. We'll be doing the watch along. So if anyone's not going to the game and they want to tune in and have a laugh and banter with us, we'll be live for the game. I'll be shouting and having heart attacks, no doubt. But yeah, they're more than welcome to come banter in if they want, mate. But yeah, at Forest Fan TV on YouTube.
Guys, I'll link that in the description. Make sure you go and show the guys some love there. It's great what they're doing. So make sure you go and check it out. But yeah, guys, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in another video soon.